What up, nerds? I'm Travis.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are the Nerd Herders coming at you, talking nerdy podcast episode. I don't even know at this point because that's the kind of year that it's been.
Yeah.
But we got kind of something exciting that happened today.
Yeah.
Aaron, would you like to tell the people?
I would like to tell the people. We hit 2,000 subscribers today, which is
not the first time this has happened.
It's a pretty big benchmark for us, though.
It is, and that was like kind of a weird thing when it happened the first time, because wasn't that when YouTube was changing its requirements for partnership status?
Yeah, and they went through the purge, the subscriber purge.
Yeah.
And, big channels lost literally millions of subscribers, and even a small little channel like ours lost like a couple hundred even.
Yeah.
It was pretty drastic how that purge and everything, and we temporarily lost our partnership and all that, but we were repartnered, for almost a year now. We've been repartnered and slowly working our subscribers back up and everything. So here we are at a proper 2,000 right at the end of the year.
So, to the audience that we have, those of you that do continue to watch our videos and listen to any of our podcasts, thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
It's not too often that we get audience interaction. We don't get a whole lot of comments and stuff like that.
But when we do,
we like to respond to it.
Yeah, and we really appreciate those of you that do watch consistently and leave comments and stuff. Makes us feel good. And to anyone that's new, whoever our 2,000th person was, hello and welcome. And
welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome to whatever this is. Our channel's kind of gone through so many phases and iterations depending on where we lived or what was going on.
Yeah. Who was doing the editing?
Who was editing? Who was in the videos? What we were able or willing to do at the time. But like the one main constant has always been you and me, and just like sharing fun nerdy things with our friends, and that's what we plan to keep on doing.
Yeah, like we're definitely not the kind of YouTubers who are like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it like a career out of this, and we've got to get as many views and subscribers as we can. Like, it's definitely rewarding when a video does well, when you get a handful of likes here and there, or if you break 100 views on something. But ultimately, this channel has kind of just become a way for us to stay connected and kind of flex our creative muscles now and again.
Yeah, and to anyone that follows along, you can kind of see that we've moved a lot, and for a long time Travis and I were either in the same town or we're living together, and now we're in different towns, and so you see like our backgrounds change, our apartments change, the way we do videos change. And we just keep
our hair changes.
Our hair change. Yeah, probably more than anything else.
It's remarkable when you watch like how we look physically in our first video compared to now.
Yeah.
It's we ain't the same, bro.
What doesn't change though is our clothing styles.
That is 100% true. Which is funny because I feel like I dress pretty casual and, dare I say, youthful when I'm on camera a lot, purely out of coincidence. But most of my wardrobe, I dress kind of like an old man.
You dress like an old man on camera more often than show your true self.
I agree. I think that's exactly what I need to do. But while we're here, let's talk about some of the things we've been working on and some of the things that we've got prepared for the future.
Yeah. Well, I guess really quick, we can just kind of do a 2020 in review of what we were able to do.
Oh, heck yeah.
Obviously it's been a very hectic year, and, we have traveled back and forth to visit each other significantly less due to the pandemic and everything. But we've still been able to produce content. We've done some podcast stuff. We've done, continued to do first impressions of either new games or fun indie games. But we got to get back a little bit to our roots and actually do a saber review and a lightsaber fight.
Yeah, which is currently in production. There's still a lot of editing that needs to be done on that.
Yeah. So the saber review is out, but the actual lightsaber fight is kind of like something that we did in 2020 that will carry into the new year as we work on this big project. So for the first, half of 2020, we really didn't put anything out. I think
that was kind of a dark time. In my personal life, I was getting laid off from a job working for a state prison, which was horrible because the company that I worked for, we were contracted through the prison, and they lost the contract. And for a long time, a lot of us didn't know what we were doing. And that actually was a period where I wasn't even really playing many games with you. I was just super kind of in a bad place.
Yeah.
And, just not in a very creative mindset, not knowing whether or not we were going to have our jobs reallocated to this new company coming in, which that did not happen. I'm working for Costco now, which has been a nice change. And then COVID hit, and there was so much insanity and uncertainty that, again, we really weren't in a creative mood. We were playing games a little more because we were confined to our homes, but, not really putting out any videos because we were still trying to understand what even is this year.
Yeah, and I've been working through this whole pandemic. Thankfully my job didn't change or anything. We were no longer open to the public in the same way, but we were still coming into the office every day. And I feel like the time put into the job, as well as just like the stress of the pandemic. Again, when I got home, it was like the last thing on my mind was, let's make a YouTube video. One of those things that went on the back burner as we all adjusted. But so the first video we did this year was a welcome to the tavern.
Yes, it was
one of the few times that you and I were actually in the same room together. We were able to meet up.
This actually, I think, was you visiting my apartment.
Yeah, it was. I brought the green
screen. You come
screen
to town, and which was a lot of fun. It's been interesting adapting to playing tabletop games via like Discord or Zoom or something like that. Which it's fun to still be able to play and connect with people in that way.
It's just not the same. Honestly, Travis, we should do a welcome to the tavern about virtual tabletops.
That's not a bad idea.
And kind of our experience.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, the ups and downs of playing Dungeons and Dragons and Apocalypse, virtually.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we put out some game stuff.
Some first
impressions of older games. Not quite.
And then some indie games first impressions. Like, I love whenever you and Sam do like your Steam Roulette, or like how they got the Humble Bundle with all those weird indie titles.
Sam got a Humble Bundle it was like the bundle for racial justice, donate what you can kind of a thing. And there's like 1,000 games in that bundle. Like, it is insane. And so we did, Diaries of Spaceport Janitor. We actually did a Sewer Rave, which has been edited for about a month. I've just never posted it. So maybe between Christmas and New Year's, I'll put out Sewer Rave, which is a very fun little indie game. You're in the sewer with a bunch of rats and stuff.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, so that's a
fun way
one
to end the year.
Yeah, a little rave for New Year's. Sewer rave.
Yeah.
And then we both got PS5s.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
We were very fortunate to be able to get them launch week.
Shout out to my boy Mark Medina over at IGN.
Mark gave us a
you guys
hookup.
should know Mark as one of our earlier contributors to the channel, starred, directed, edited a whole bunch of stuff with us.
Man,
and,
he was our
what a guy.
star editor, that's for sure. He saved our
He really
butts on some
was.
projects for sure. Kind of opened us up to a whole nother level at the time of what we could potentially do. He definitely
his
laid the
wonderful
groundwork.
wife, our resident executive in charge of creative decisions, Amanda. Another shout out.
Which I would say Amanda still holds that title because she
Absolutely.
pokes and prods us in the right direction when she thinks we're doing it wrong, and she's usually right.
Yeah, they're gems, both of them.
Yeah.
Also, apologies to our listeners. I've got a cat not in my apartment, but outside of my apartment that's running around making these god-awful noises. I don't know for sure if they're going to get picked up on the mic, but I can hear it through my headphones, so it's really irritating me.
I can't hear through your headset, but yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were able to get a PS5.
But
both get a PS5.
Yeah. We've been
awesome.
playing, I don't know, I feel like this year I've played a lot more new games than ever before. I'm one of those people that I will just replay the same old games over and over and over.
Yeah, same.
You know, even if I'm buying new games, they will sit untouched because I will just replay like Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space and God of War and Grand Theft Auto 5, you know?
Yeah. Especially when we play games together, we have like our 5 go-to games that we rotate through for multiplayer.
Yeah.
But we don't always
kind of
capture a lot of that footage, and we haven't done any PS5 stuff yet, but we've definitely been playing
not
it.
yet. Uh-huh.
And honestly, there's not a lot of content on the PS5 yet.
No, and there's a little less now that they pulled Cyberpunk,
Yeah, which I didn't even
which
bother
is
with.
insane.
But yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of a game being pulled the way that this game was. I don't think I've ever heard of a game being received the way that this game was. The closest thing being No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like, I remember them offering a bunch of refunds when that game first came out, but they never pulled it from the store.
No, definitely not.
It's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. Definitely an interesting time in gaming right now.
Yeah. The whole entertainment industry, really.
Yeah.
Think about how Black Widow and Mulan were supposed to come out in theaters right when everything got locked down. Mulan, of course, came to Disney Plus, but Black Widow has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Yeah, which
So,
brings you're talking about films real quick. We haven't done a trailer park in quite some time for a number of reasons. One, we're not in the same physical space, so it's a lot easier to do trailer park when we were just sitting side by side. But also with the lack of new films and the lack of like good new trailers, there hasn't been a lot of content for doing a trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
Which maybe
that would be fun to try and do, like the split screen, like we're in two different trailer parks.
Well, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is in 2021, one of the things that I would like to see the channel do is get back to doing trailer park for games and movies, and getting back into our discussions and our predictions, especially just solely based on the trailers. Because
that was always fun.
We had some wild predictions for films, especially like Star Wars. And that was a lot of fun.
I really wish I had it on record somewhere about the predictions I made for the Mandalorian finale.
You called the finale. I'm pretty impressed.
I told you what I thought was going to happen, and I told my coworkers what I thought was going to happen, but the fact that it actually happened almost exactly the way I said it was going to.
Yep.
Man, what a delicious feeling.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Mandalorian was awesome. So I guess as we start getting trailers for new Disney Plus Star Wars shows and stuff, definitely, I think I can say with confidence, keep an eye out for some trailer parks from us on those, because that's going to be right up our alley, and we're going to have a lot to say, I think.
I just got to say that every time I hear that phrase, right up your alley or right up our alley, my brain immediately autocorrects alley to ass.
Oh?
It's like, oh man, you're going to love that show. It's right up your ass. I don't know why. I've never heard anybody actually say it, but it happens in my brain. And I almost started laughing really hard when you said that. But then I was like, no, I'm just going to use this as a storytelling opportunity so that people can get to know me a little better.
That's funny. Yeah, get to know you a little better. We're going to, we have kicked around the idea of doing almost like a Vlogbrothers kind of a thing.
Yes, because like getting back to this idea of conversation, but kind of like one video is beginning the conversation, and then there'll be another, like a follow-up video that is a response to that, as well as an introduction to the next topic or something of that nature.
And I think that will allow us to do multiple things. I mean, one, even when we do stuff at from a distance like this, we still have to both be available at the same time. And our work schedules are vastly different usually.
Yeah.
And so doing like the vlog style will allow us each to be able to make our videos and our responses on our own schedule and just kind of have a loose, I'll get back to you within a timely manner, but we can shoot and edit without having to rely on the other one being available. And sure, that way when we are both available, we can do other things. Either just playing games like we do for fun or do stuff like this where we're actually having live conversations.
For sure.
So I'm really looking forward to that because I think it'll allow you and I to hang out more kind of virtually that way. And I think that will allow us to connect more with our audience because, when you guys watch us, we're either doing our little skits where we're just putting on a character or whatever, or you're listening to what we think about this movie or this game or reacting to the first impressions in real time of a game. But we don't really talk a lot about us, who Aaron and Travis are, as people. And I think, especially as we get older and we're going to keep doing this channel, I think we're comfortable being able to share a little bit more.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
On top of that, for those of you that have obtained a COVID hobby, the one that I picked up on was home brewing, and I mean that in the sense of brewing alcohol. Started making my own wine, and when I started making it, it was kind of during a time where I was trying to figure out how to play tabletops virtually, and B, starting to play tabletop games with coworkers of mine. And so I had this idea for kind of a new channel. It wouldn't be here on Nerd Herders, but something called the Homebrew Crew, which is essentially going to be different tabletops that you play, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons, if anybody ever plays like there's all kinds of one-off little games that you can buy nowadays.
Yeah. There's a lot of one-off tabletops, and there's some really interesting ones out there. And actually, just a quick side thing, that bundle that Sam bought, it's not just video games. There's also tabletop stuff.
Ooh.
Just quick little... I
did not know that.
Yes, just quick little, just like how you and I have our apocalypse system. People that have made systems or have, taken a universe, like I think there's an Alien RPG,
Holy crap.
Yeah, and have developed it into a tabletop game. So we have access to those too.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so Homebrew Crew, like Travis said, wouldn't be on the Nerd Herders channel. It probably wouldn't even be on YouTube. We would probably do it as a proper podcast. And it would be our homebrew campaigns. And it would be, the audio of our sessions.
Yeah.
Which
like...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh my God, dude. What kind of night are we having? That keeps happening. Yeah. All right. So anyways, because we've got like our own different like Dungeons and Dragons campaigns going on, we've got our own apocalypse games going on. It'll be kind of a fun place to just go and listen to these, improv stories kind of unfold.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will say one of the best things about having, audio recordings of a tabletop is like I have a horrible memory. I feel like I got a bird brain nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really wonderful way to relive those moments as well as remind yourself where your players left off. I really like having recordings of my sessions.
For sure. We had done, and this is on the YouTube channel, we had done Apocalypse Until Dawn.
Yeah.
What is it, 2 years ago now?
Yep.
A little over 2 years ago because it was October. And
Yep.
so we recently picked up where we left off after two years.
And we recorded that audio. It's not been edited.
We did, but we recorded it. But being able to go back and listen, like you were saying, and listen to literally our entire campaign,
exactly.
It allowed us to pick up, for us it's distant memory, but for our characters, these things just happened. So being able to go back and do that was and listen to those was really nice. And now we have a backlog of episodes. So when we do launch Homebrew Crew, we are going to repost, the first 3 Until Dawn episodes, as well as the, what did we do, 2 more episodes?
Yes.
Yeah, the 2 more that we had already
recorded.
Have
5 episodes up on that channel pretty much as soon as it launches.
So that'll be our first campaign. Our first campaign will be Apocalypse Until Dawn.
Yes.
And then we will do Triassic Park, my little spin on knockoff Jurassic Park.
I love it. I love it so much.
And then
I know that we have at least one more session of that left, and I want to play it.
Yeah, one final session
real bad
of Triassic Park. So we've been doing, that's the one thing that we have done this year. We didn't do a lot of videos until later in the year, but we have done a decent amount of recording of tabletop stuff.
Even the fact that I've played as many tabletop games as I have this year, I'm super happy and proud of, because I love Dungeons and Dragons and I love improv and acting and all that. And it's been really, really rewarding to kind of get back into those kinds of moments and that style of storytelling.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've had like a consistent tabletop group, so it's nice.
Yeah. And you've recently started playing with coworkers, and I've started playing with some coworkers and Sam, So like we've broadened our player horizons.
For sure.
And I think we're going to get some really good audio content out of those.
I think so.
Those sessions. Really excited for that. What else?
Well, you have been working on a pretty major project with California State Parks.
I have. So, we've been doing this YouTube channel for over 8 years now, which is wild. And one of the things that we had always dreamed of is like actually being able to get paid to make videos. That was always like, this YouTube channel's fun, but like, what if one day. So, like Travis just said, I work for California State Parks, and with COVID and our visitor centers being closed and our museums being closed and our kids programs being canceled, I've had the opportunity to work with my coworkers at my park and make videos. I basically just kind of pitched like, hey, I have a little bit of experience. Is this something that we could do to reach people at home, reach a virtual audience? And, we got the green light, and there's bumps along the way, like all new projects, but we've been able to make some really cool, really fun videos that I've been able to either be the one shooting it or be the one in it. I edited all of them. And so alone, because there's on my own equipment, no less, because, nobody has the know-how, but it's gotten really good feedback from higher ups as well as the public, being able to do these fun little, the park I work at is, buildings from the 1800s. So kind of doing some 18th century, how-to videos and some tours of our 18th century or 19th century houses, that wouldn't be open to the public during COVID. So that's been pretty huge and pretty fun. So yeah, I've definitely sank a lot of time into editing and planning those videos. More so
I think
than
that's such a great thing, that State Parks is doing.
Yeah.
Is finding a way to reach out to the public and, continue educating children as well as like anybody that's watching. It doesn't just have to be kids.
Yeah.
But
no, not at all.
The brief time that I worked with California State Parks, and boy do I miss it. I feel like I learned more about our state and, our country's history really than I ever learned in school.
Yes.
It was a wonderful experience. And, I wish that everybody who lives in Monterey and really who lives in California knew where it all began,
Yeah. I work at Monterey State Historic Park. I mean, I've lived here in Monterey for like 7 years now. And Travis, you were here for like 5 of those, give or take. 4 or 5 of those. And I mean, a lot of Californians don't know this, and definitely a lot of people outside California don't know that Monterey was the first capital city.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of cool stuff to explore, and I've actually seen a lot in the last couple months. It's not just our park; other parks are doing YouTube stuff as well. So I mean, we're Monterey State Historic Park on YouTube, but Old Town San Diego has been cranking out some awesome stuff. Sutter's Fort, there's a guy up at Sutter's Fort, just one guy. Every video is just him by himself. He's probably the only. God
bless him.
But he's done like how to make hardtack. He literally showed you how.
What?
Yeah, he did a demonstration of like priming and loading and firing a flintlock rifle. Like he's like really good. But you can tell he's shy on camera, and he's definitely doing this alone. But like, it's such cool stuff for the public to just be able to watch these short little videos.
What a treasure, though.
And, as far as, I mean, obviously it has nothing to do with our channel, but it has a lot to do with just YouTube and the role that it can play. And what you can do on this platform to reach people, whether it's for, silly entertainment like what you and I do, or whether it's for, awesome education stuff like with work. It's really cool to see, as the world moved online, what really cool things got to come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of education and entertainment, and just so we don't ramble too long for this podcast, Sam has been working on their own little project during this time, which is super cool. And the second episode came out today as we record this.
It did. So Sam, for a long time, has wanted to do a podcast or show or something about film, about movies. Sam loves watching indie movies and obscure documentaries and musicals, foreign films, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of things that I don't, wouldn't just watch on my own.
You don't gravitate towards those kinds of things.
Right, yeah. But, whenever Sam watches something and shares it with me or you, and we're just like, whoa, that's really cool. And so Sam decided to give it a go and start a podcast called Basic Plots, where Sam watches something, unbeknownst to the co-host of the podcast, and basically gives a bare bones description of the plot, a basic plot. And based on that, the person on the show has to try to guess the genre, or try to guess what this film is about or when it was made. And as it goes along, Sam will give some out-of-context quotes, some more details, and then will reveal what it is, and then a discussion will happen about what it is. So 2 episodes are out, the pilot and then the official episode 1. I'm the guesser on that one, and I gotta say, both times I guessed correctly at the beginning and then talked myself down and doubted myself and changed my answers and was wrong. So it's a pretty fun ride. I know, Travis, you're going to be on. Phoebe's going to be on. So Sam's got a lot of plans. So it's Basic Plots on YouTube. Sam's channel is Sam Shows Up.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the description.
We'll also
as well.
throw links to,
Yeah.
both the State Parks channel and Sam's channel. Good stuff.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of branch out projects. Obviously we're going to keep chugging away here at Nerd Herders, but there's been a lot of other cool stuff that has started or will be started in our lives, which is really fun.
And it's nice, I think, to be part of a community where you don't necessarily have to be in the same room now more than ever, but you can still interact and, create things together in these sort of bizarre ways. Yeah.
So, I'm definitely thankful that we've been able to do this as long as we have. I'm really excited to see what 2021 brings for our creativity.
Agreed.
What projects we will get to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say it right now. I'm going to manifest here for a minute, speak this into existence.
All right.
Because I've already started getting materials together, but I am making a Mandalorian cosplay.
Yeah.
And you better believe there's going to be some videos talking about that popping up on the channel.
Yeah, for
Every time there's new pieces painted or compiled, I'm going to be bringing it to you.
And I'm stoked to see that too, since I'm not going to be there to watch you build this thing. I'm going to be looking out for those videos so I can follow along.
Yeah. Just to give some background to our listeners, Aaron and I have been friends since we were like 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
And growing up, going through high school, I used to build Iron Man suits out of cardboard and craft foam in my parents' garage. And Aaron was always there helping me cut out the pieces and try things on to take pictures and stuff like that. So
I would just walk down. I mean, we were literally like a 2-3 minute walk from each other growing up, so I would just walk down, help him out.
I'd pop open the garage and boom.
Yep. And that's where we started a lot of our, if you look at our old YouTube videos, they're either at Travis's house or at my house or at the park in our neighborhood.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And then,
Good times,
I went to college here in Monterey. That's how we got out here. And then Travis came out here as well, and we were roommates. And
we were roommates.
And we were roommates. And so a lot of our projects you'll see are in our various apartments. And then I'm now living with Sam as well as Kim. You've seen Kim in plenty of videos. And,
hell yeah. Love those dudes.
We're all still making stuff together.
It's good. Make things with your friends, people. That's the best way to live life.
Yeah. It really, and like, I'm not an artist, I don't sing, I don't play music, I don't draw. But hold on, but like,
you're just a different kind.
Yeah, but like these videos is like my art for sure. Yeah, exactly. And doing it with my friends is how I like best express that. Being part of a group collaborative, the editing has really kind of become my thing.
It's like you cannot write, star, and direct and edit Michael Parker and say you're not an artist, Aaron Gilmartin.
That's fair. But we've all kind of like developed our niches over the years. Travis, you're a much better writer. You've got an eye for the camera. I enjoy the editing. We all have our roles, and it's really fun to work together.
It is. That's why this has gone on for so long. It's why it will continue to go on. I'm just never gonna let this channel die, bro.
No, we really can't.
I will be buried in the data stream that is this channel.
Well, let's see.
I want my ashes to be pressed and formed into a circuit card.
Oh, man.
That will download every bit of this data. I want it to be programmed into a bot that will take every video and podcast we've made to create its own videos and podcasts.
Yeah.
That will be my legacy.
Well, we still got a long time to put stuff out then, because we started this when we were, 19?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. That seems like a very long time ago.
Yeah, we started this when we were 19, and now I just turned 28. So, yeah, we'll just upload our consciousness and
that's how we do it, buddy. The
nerd
final
burgers.
apartment.
Yeah, the final apartment.
Oh.
All right. Well,
All right.
anything else to add? We've covered a lot. We've done a lot. We've got a lot that we want to do. Thank you to our viewers.
I hope that whoever listens to this and whoever's been watching our videos, Milky Flava, Nick Bowden, Harley Casper, y'all, I just hope you guys have enjoyed this at least half as much as we have making it. And I hope that 2020 hasn't been too hard on you. And I hope that 2021 is good to you.
Yeah, definitely hoping that 2021 is better to everybody. And we hope that, everybody out there is as safe as they can and is, hopefully going to get to have some kind of holiday with family, however that can best be safely done for you. And, we're heading into a new year. New opportunity.
New opportunity. I love it. Well, as always, nerds, stay nerdy.